I don't remember learning anything from that game. Except that I'm never letting my mother buy my games again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the High Ground Podcast. I'm Caleb Dudek, and joined with me is
Jeff Pitcher.
And I'm sorry that it's been a while, guys.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not, because we've been super busy. That we haven't posted in a while, but we are back to talk about a few things that have happened recently. A few of them being the recent changes to the DCEU, to the Witcher television series that is coming out soon, and also a few Nintendo direct predictions. So, yeah. Why don't we get started, Jeff? Let's talk about what's been going on in the DCU.
Well, usually we'd have Matt on this, but he's not returning his texts.
Good job, Matt.
So he's not here today. But we all know that Henry Cavill looks like he's out as Superman, which means we get to have some weird discontinuity. And I heard a rumor today that Michael B. Jordan might be taking it over. I don't know if that's true.
I don't think that's true.
Charlie told me that, man. I don't know.
Really?
None of you guys know who Charlie is.
Okay.
But we'll see if we can get some clarity on that, because we're your only source for entertainment news, I'm sure.
Especially with the DCU, because we
love it.
We specifically cover the DCU.
We love the DCEU
almost every
so much.
episode. But it does kind of suck, I guess, because I didn't mind him as Superman. Not now. This is coming from me. Not really caring too much about the DCU, but I did when the movies first came out. I did watch them, and I mean they were fun.
Sure,
it wasn't anything to write home about. It wasn't like a Infinity War, but I feel like he did a great job as Superman.
He was just as good as the last guy
Sure.
from Superman Returns, at least.
Right.
But I don't know if it was better writing or
Like, are you
worse
talking about,
writing, but
Superman Returns. Who is that?
oh yeah, no one remembers his name. Yeah.
Okay.
I know Henry Cavill's name. I'm probably saying it wrong, but
Yep.
I do know that he played the young Mondego character in the Count of Monte Cristo, and that's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the loss of Cavill is not a big deal to the DCEU, except for you hardcore fans out there, because we all know the DCEU has just been full of crap the entire time.
Yeah.
The exception, of course, of Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We can't forget about Wonder Woman.
Now, if you lost Gal, for the sequel, then that would be really bad.
That would be so bad. Oh my God. Yeah.
but I guess I don't know if in the comics they ever had Superman die and then look like someone else afterwards.
Nah.
I don't know if that happened.
I mean, you get different designers and artists on there, but
right. But he's still
still
same. Got black hair, white and built, and glasses when he's not Superman. Clark Kent, that's his name.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
But so the reasoning, behind this, I don't know if it's been confirmed or this is just speculation. But is because he wants to focus more on his role as Geralt, the Witcher.
Geralt of Rivia, right?
Geralt of Rivia.
I've not even played this game since we did the podcast on it.
Exactly.
But I know my lore.
Nice.
The Witcher 3 for kids.
For kids. As his new role for Geralt of Rivia, which was a surprising, at least I guess maybe I should say I just didn't expect him to take the role. But after I've sat down for a few days and sort of thought about it, he's not a terrible actor. He's good at acting. I feel like now this gives him time to really hone in on the character of Geralt and just really bring his best performance for Geralt of Rivia as a Witcher, which I'm really excited for. So
I kind of wish that they had cast Nikolai Coster instead.
Oh, sure. There's definitely more preferred cast choices.
Just for the acting chops.
Yeah.
Nikolai's a really pretty dude. He's a really pretty guy. It'd be hard to make him really sellable.
Yes.
As Geralt, except when you start looking at when Jaime Lannister was in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
He was disheveled and, kind of beaten up looking, and it still worked really well.
It works really well, and I feel like that would been such a perfect fit. But that being said, he's still juggling Game of Thrones or he might be. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure principal shooting is done.
Yeah, they're probably done shooting.
They're probably doing some reshoots here and there.
Yeah. But still, yeah, I'm super excited about that. I know we don't really have much else to talk about the DCU
Actually,
just because
I just pulled up an article.
Oh, okay.
So Michael B. Jordan is among those being considered to replace him.
No way.
They're also talking about replacing Ben Affleck as Batman because he's out. He's been out for a while, right?
Yep.
They're pushing for a Game of Thrones starting on it, though they're not telling us which one. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Cersei.
I mean, I was thinking more Tyrion, but
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm the littlest Batman ever. I got nothing.
I drink and I know things, and also beat the shit out of people for justice.
For justice. Yeah. So either way, the Witcher series should be good. Netflix is spearheading it, right?
Yeah. So it's a show that's going to be done by Netflix. So I mean, they have a pretty good track record for their original series. So I have high hopes, and apparently they've got a great director and team on it. So I'm not too worried about it. I guess we'll know more once we get closer to it. I think there's people saying 2020 as a estimated. Hopefully sooner. I don't know.
Based on the production quality that we're expecting from it, it's going to be Game of Thrones-esque in the scope of it.
I would hope so.
So I would imagine that 2020 is that's a pretty viable timetable.
Right, and especially after I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, but there was a show based off of the books from the Witcher series called The Hexer in Polish, and it was released in Poland. It's all in Polish, so if you watch it, you have to watch it in subtitles. You weebs. But it's pretty cringy. It was made in the early 2000s. The production I mean, in terms of following the story, they did somewhat of a decent job, at least for the first couple books, but it's pretty rough. It looks like something, the 3D rendering of a golden dragon looks like something out of the GameCube, so they definitely need to step up their game. So I have high hopes, and Netflix has, like I said, a pretty good track record. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Cool.
Yep.
And we're also going to touch on Nintendo Direct because when this goes live, Nintendo Direct will be going live any minute, right?
Yeah.
It's
so
going on
it's tomorrow.
Or today for you listening at home.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think basically what people have, I guess, derived from. Wow, I just lost my words for a second. Apologize. But basically, what they're going to be talking about is the new online service, along with some new Switch games, and I would assume some more 3DS games, because surprisingly, they keep supporting the 3DS, which is great. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I still do play my 3DS.
Sure,
you know, it's still a very alive system and thriving in terms of that, and they're releasing. I do know they're releasing a remake of Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube on the 3DS.
That's got to be boring as shit.
Have you ever played Luigi's Mansion?
Did not enjoy it.
Oh, okay, it was a interesting take for Nintendo to launch the GameCube.
That was the launch.
It was the launch.
Yeah.
It was the launch game for the GameCube, and I think it was just one of those times where, like, hey, we should give Luigi like a little spearhead thing here. I don't know. But
it's sort of like, well, Mario's gotten a bunch of them. We should, like, you know,
we should throw
give
Luigi
a
bone.
chance.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you're like me, you're like, wow, that really sucked.
It was a different game.
Give him a vacuum cleaner. Wait, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a vacuum cleaner. Suck up ghosts.
So it's pretty much Ghostbusters, the Luigi version.
Luigi Busters or Boo Busters. I don't know. Whatever. I enjoyed the game. I actually was very skeptical at first when they announced that as the launch title for the GameCube, but I eventually did enjoy it just because it was so different. It's not a platformer or anything like that. So yeah, they're still they're still supporting the 3DS, which I'm excited about.
Did you also like Mario is Missing?
No, that's a completely different game. That's an educational game. Come on.
I don't remember learning anything from that game.
Exactly.
Except that I'm never letting my mother buy my games again.
Here you go. And then paired with that is Mario's Time Machine.
Yo,
Learn about
yeah.
history.
That one was didn't actually play that one.
Both were pretty awful.
I
for
think
the
Mom asked if I
SNES.
wanted the new Mario game, and I'm like, no.
Mario just teaches me useless information.
I mean, I would watch a movie
Mm,
where Mario goes back in time because it'd probably be better than the 1991
Sure.
movie we got.
sure.
But guess
I mean,
the cartoon was way better than the movie ever was anyway.
the cartoon was still pretty bad.
But it was pretty good.
So Nintendo I would assume they're going to be giving us the whole lowdown on what we're going to be getting for Nintendo Switch's online service, just because it is coming out, I believe, next Tuesday.
Unless I get AOL Instant Messenger with it, I'm throwing the Switch in the garbage.
It's a piece of garbage. And thus far, if you've been following, we don't really know too much about it. It's basically what we know is that you will have cloud saves, and apparently only for certain games. It's not across the board, which is a little disappointing. You have, at least for your first month, you have access to 20 classic NES games that can all be played online with people. So this includes, I don't know if I've told you this, Jeff.
Not yet.
This includes, so like if you're playing Super Mario Brothers, obviously if you play online with somebody just takes the role of Luigi and you take turns. Now how they do that with games like Zelda, they'll do like the controller pass off. So like if you're playing with somebody online, play for a little bit, your buddy will watch you online and be like, all right, I'm going to toss my, you know.
Yeah, that's going to be like when I was playing with
like,
my brother and he wouldn't give me the
He
controller.
wouldn't give me the controller. Yeah, so like I feel like that is more of like a nice like formality, but no one is going to use that because whenever I play one-player games like that, like why would
Your
I
mom
want
comes in
to?
the room, now take turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, because like I want to play.
That's not what Caleb's mom sounds like.
She sounds more like this. Whenever I play one-player games, I don't like, and this isn't out of selfishness. Like, I don't want somebody just taking my game and then ruining like my progress or like my whatever. Like, it's my adventure,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Like if you're playing, I don't remember what game it was. We're playing some game a couple of months ago now. And there was a certain point where you could not get the maneuver right to get somewhere.
was it Mega Man 2?
It's probably Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
And I think eventually I'm like, hey, can I try this? Can I see the controller quick and see if I could? And I still couldn't do it. But then you're like, oh, I see what you're trying
I
to do.
understood what you were.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you were like. Oh, you should do this.
Because
And
unless it's
so-
Mario 2, I suck at video games.
especially 2D platformers.
2D platformers I'm horrible at, unless it's Super Mario
Jump and
Brothers 2.
shoot. But yeah, so I mean that's odd, but like I said, I feel like it's more of a formality. Sure, like that's cool.
Do you
Alright,
think
you
we'll-
can play NES games online. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, but you can also get a Raspberry Pi and program your emulators.
Yeah, blah, blah,
whatever.
Sure, sure.
We get it. Shut up.
Yeah, be illegal.
Yeah, fine. Go play Fortnite. I bet you vape too. Matt's not here to defend himself.
So it'll just in the comments, just make fun of Matt the whole
Yeah,
time.
it's fine. He's our resident vapey boy.
But
Do you think we'll get any more information on Smash?
so this is sort of one. This goes into sort of part of my prediction. I think.
Nice segue.
Yeah. I know. So I think the official release is either December 12th or 13th. I think what they're going to do is, if you like buy the Nintendo Online, they're probably gonna throw in like a playable online Smash demo as kind of like a beta.
Like, here's 6 characters. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so you play online, so they're getting that like test fire thing because they've done stuff like that with like Splatoon.
Yep.
2 before the game came out, they had like a test fire thing. So I think they will, if like they'll either package it in the, you know, if you get the Nintendo Online, it comes with like a free demo or whatever for Smash. Originally, what my thought would be they'd announce Smash with coinciding with the launch of the Nintendo Online service, which would make a lot of sense. Because
Yeah.
I mean,
You kind of need the online service to
come
play
on.
online.
yeah, and there's a huge competitive online.
So can you play your Switch upstairs, like in your apartment, and I can play it in my place downstairs at the same time, and we can play against each other? Is that how online works? Like if we have two Switches and we're playing against each other?
I don't think that is going to be exactly how it works. Because at least
But I want to play against you.
we could probably play locally.
You mean
If like
I'd have to go to your place, or you'd have to go to my place,
yeah.
and we'd have to
Like
use
hook
the
up-
same Switch?
Yeah, and then maybe hook up GameCube controllers because those are
'Cause
coming.
what else
as
are you
well.
really gonna use? Please.
Like, I don't care if people like to shit on the GameCube controller. It is one of my favorite controllers, especially for Smash. It
Yeah.
like works so well for that game.
I feel like the PlayStation
And-
2, the PlayStation 3 and 4 controllers are probably the best ergonomically designed controllers. What's the worst controller ever designed for anything ever?
Nintendo 64.
The original Xbox.
Oh, the original Xbox.
You could at
But,
least
yeah.
hold with normal-sized
Yeah.
hands the N64 controller.
It was still a weird design.
It was a
though,
weird
with the
design.
3 grips. Yeah.
But you didn't have to have the hands the size of houses to hold the controller.
True. Yep.
Yeah. You could also fit an Xbox. You have to get a separate house for it because it was just so big.
I have to buy extra land for my Xbox to keep
It's
it
like,
on.
how much land does this house come with? Oh, it's got 2 acres. Sorry, that's just not big enough. Bill Gates, what were you thinking?
But
And then not including Spider-Man, you jackass.
yeah,
It's his fault.
I'm picking that up probably tomorrow actually for the PS4. We'll have a Spider-Man podcast coming soon cuz Breedlove is playing it as well, and he's been sending me like things here and there like, stop dude, I just want to play it.
I unlocked the Iron Spider suit.
It's like, shut up.
This game is great if it were just a tourism game for New York City. He didn't actually say
He didn't
that.
say that.
He doesn't.
No.
I think that was a clickhole article that we shared.
Yeah. No, from what I hear, it's going to be a phenomenal game, but that's off topic. So, anyways, do you have any prediction? Any other prediction? I mean, I have a couple more that I can go, but I would figure I'd go to you.
I'll just make Jackass's commentary on yours. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sure. So I guess my next prediction, and I think it would be a really, really smart move on Nintendo, and actually IGN has talked a little bit about this, so I'll throw them a bone. They have a really great podcast called MVC that I listen to weekly. But it's something that I personally have wanted for the Switch, and it would make so much sense for their marketing towards Metroid Prime 4 if they release the Metroid Prime trilogy HD for the Switch.
Oh yeah.
And make it look phenomenal. I would love for them to even just like, in terms of HD, actually like have HD textures, like really just make it look beautiful, because believe it or not, the games do hold up fairly well. I played Metroid Prime pretty recently, the first one.
Yeah,
And I was very surprised in how well that game actually holds
Yeah.
up for even for the very strange control style, because it's a one-stick shooter. It's not
Yeah.
a twin-stick shooter. But it holds up very well. It does a great job bringing Metroid from 2D into 3D. So, but for the hype of Metroid Prime 4 coming out, I believe next year, it is rumored to come out. I think if they were to release a Metroid Prime trilogy HD for the Switch for this holiday season, that would be a really great marketing move, because I'd be a sucker. I mean, I'd buy the hell out of that. So
He bought like 2 of them.
yeah. So
I own 2 copies of Skyrim. It's fine.
I think we will. I think we will also hear a little bit more about what. And I'm just going to call it the Virtual Console, even though I guess that name is dead. But their version of the Virtual Console for the Switch, so emulating older
Right.
games. And I think there's going to be a lot more revealed than what we know now. It's just like, yeah, if you get a subscription, you'll get access to 20 NES games, which like
You know,
cool.
some of us actually own those NES games already.
Like multiple times too.
Yeah.
Mario 3. But so like I feel like we'll get at least a little bit more information on that, whether or not we'll be able to maybe purchase more games. I would absolutely love if they were able to emulate N64 and GameCube games and put them on their quote unquote virtual console, even though it's not called that anymore.
I'd love a rebuffed Rogue Squadron.
A rebuffed pod racing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
As much as like we hated The Last Jedi, if they had added pod racing into it instead of llama space racing.
Oh God, I actually. Yeah,
like if they're
I
gonna
would
go,
be okay.
if they're gonna go the slave route, why don't they just have the slaves piloting the pods just like they had on Tatooine?
Mm-hmm. Oh, but they're all humans, and Annie was the only one because he had the Force.
So make them non-human slaves.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. The Empire used to enslave anything that wasn't human anyway. Look at the Wookiee. Look at the Chewie. You know when like I don't know what Chewie's name is.
Look at that
But, like,
Wookiee.
they enslaved the Wookiees, and they were probably going to enslave Ewoks if they knew they existed. And then they'd be like, "Oh, you're so cute. You didn't ruin the movie nearly as badly as Rose did." Sorry, guys.
Always gotta bring it back.
I'll say it again.
This,
It had nothing to do with the girl's acting ability. She's a talented enough actress to land a Star Wars movie. It has nothing to do with that. It's Rian Johnson's writing that sucked. I have a problem with the straight white male who started it. Has nothing to do with the patriarchy.
I was very hopeful, and I'm gonna call this episode our season 2 premiere, just because we had enough break. I was hopeful that this premiere would at least not mention Rose, but I don't think we can ever really get away from that because we are the High Ground Podcast. I'm looking at a fake camera right now, or a non-existent camera. But
we actually have a fake camera set up on a stand,
it's just
so Caleb feels comfortable.
Yeah, I have
make sure
to
that's
be in
side. You
front
get
of a
my
camera.
good side, right? Fake Jeff.
Anyways, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have any like more predictions. I think I just want more information.
Yeah,
because
they didn't really give us a bunch of D3.
Nope. Yeah, actually, it was very Smash heavy, which I mean, that
To
we
be
fair,
expected that and wanted that.
We expected that, and they said, hey, we're going to focus more on Smash or games in 2018 rather than next year.
Further out. Yeah.
That's fine. Cool.
You know they could still give us some more DLC for the Breath of the Wild. We could still get the whole Rebuild Hyrule DLC that we all want. DVD.
We could get that DVD in. Yeah, I think they're done with Breath of the Wild.
Me too.
I actually think they're mostly done with Mario Odyssey, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, but that's not really a big expandable game. It seems a game like that doesn't really need expansion.
The expansions that they've done with that game have been Luigi
Lackluster.
Find the Balloon online.
Woo!
They didn't. I don't think they added any new worlds or anything. I mean, they have
Luigi
for
Find the
Christ's
Balloon
sake,
online
they
coming
have-
out 2019.
Yeah, they have like 999 moons in the game, so I guess you can't really expect. Like
you know what
that game has a shit ton of content.
You know what they
so-
should do? They should take the exact same engine they used for Breath of the Wild and give us a Majora's Mask of Breath of the Wild. Give us the exact same engine, but give us a brand new game. You already have half the work done.
Yeah. So what Jeff? What I think you're saying is what Nintendo originally did with Ocarina of Time is what they did with Majora's Mask, because they had like a year to develop Majora's Mask.
I think it was
and
maybe a year, maybe
just
under.
They obviously, if you've played both games, they reused a ton of the assets, which I would be fine with if they made like a completely new game that maybe didn't necessarily have to be open world, but just a fun new
concept.
concept.
Built into the engine of it, though. So yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. But I just thinking back to when I first played Majora's Mask, I actually hated it because I was like, "Oh, a sequel to Ocarina of Time. This should be great." And because of the way the mechanics were, it was a completely different game.
Yeah.
The the whole timer thing. I absolutely hated it, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was really young,
Yeah,
so I was just like,
once I could slow down time. I'm like, oh, that's not that bad.
oh yeah, actually,
It's not a
this
big deal
is
at all.
fine. This is actually a great game, and that's when I played it and beat it.
I was
like, holy
26
shit.
when I realized that I could do that.
Dude, I was like 22.
So like,
when I
so I'm
played the
like,
game.
I'm blasting through, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta beat the fucking Deku guy. I gotta beat him, and I'm there, and I've got like 30 seconds to beat the guy. It just doesn't work. Can't do it. Lost. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not playing this game again. And then I googled it. I'm like, oh yeah, just go talk to the guy, and you get the
You
song,
can
and you're
play
fine.
play it. Yeah.
Jeff, you're an idiot.
But
So I played it again. No big deal.
that would be sweet. I actually think they might announce a Zelda game for the 3DS.
Which I would be. Unlike you, I'm not as huge a fan of the 3DS still.
Sure.
Loved the Pokemon games that came out for it. Hated the Zelda games that came out for it because Spirit Tracks
Mhm.
and the Phantom
Terrible.
Hourglass.
Terrible.
Pretty much you add Phantom to anything, and it's just not going to be very good.
Yep.
Phantom Menace, Phantom of the Opera, Phantom Hourglass.
And you can fight me in the comments on me saying that both of those games are terrible because
Yep.
I have played those games. I put some hours in them. They're terrible.
I don't think I finished either of them.
They're terrible.
The
Despite
only
what people
the
say.
only worst game for the Zelda franchise would be the Wand of Gamelon
Yeah. Yeah,
or the Faces of Evil.
for me the only Zelda games that I haven't beaten are
Those two.
those two
Yeah.
and the CDI ones, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we don't own a CDI because who does?
yeah, come on.
And we're
Oh,
not-
I'm sorry, Skyward Sword, but
Skyward Sword.
Jeez.
We've beaten that game.
I
We haven't
haven't.
beaten that game.
I haven't. I couldn't finish it. I stopped because
It's like eating a really bad
got-
salad,
I got
like a really big, really bad salad.
I got maybe like 3/4 of the way through the game. I was done.
Yeah.
It's like I can't do this anymore.
When we start doing Let's Plays, we're gonna have that on because we'll just get frustrated after an hour and turn it off.
yeah, that's.
It's about right.
But yeah, I would like to. Oh, they're most definitely going to be talking about Pokemon Let's Go and Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Right. We all know
which-
how I feel about that game.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah. I have faith in it. I think it's gonna be a fun game, even though they've sort of blended the mechanics of the OG Pokemon games with Pokemon Go. I think they're still going to make it an enjoyable experience.
It's
for,
Pokemon Go without the walking.
Yeah, basically.
Pokemon Go to the polls.
I still think Jeff needs to just try it. Well, I'll let you.
I'll try it.
I'll
I'll play
let
it,
you
yeah.
play it.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna not play a Pokemon game. Are you
I'll let
kidding
you
me?
play it. But yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm obviously going to buy it. I'm going with Pikachu because Pikachu's always been my boy. In most of my Pokemon playthroughs, I've had a Raichu in my party because I like the quick. I like the fast boy.
Do we know the quick boy?
Quick boy.
Do we know if every evolution of Eevee is available, or is it just
So-
the original?
From what I know, so the versions that you choose, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, those Pokemon just hang out with you on your shoulder.
Oh,
So I don't think they're actually a part of your
well,
party.
I'm gonna fucking take
but
Pikachu.
they are.
Who's
But
gonna
they.
have Eevee on your shoulder? It's
But
ridiculous.
I could be wrong. I think I might be wrong.
Caleb might be wrong.
Yeah. So you can fight me in the comments. You'll probably win. But from what I've seen, it looks like you can have. So you have your your Pikachu or your Eevee on your shoulder, but then you can also have a follower Pokemon that's a part of your party. So I think
so the
maybe
whole
these.
Let's Go blank is pretty much just
I think
your
it's just-
sprite has a Pikachu on its back.
But I think they're gonna do a lot more than that. We don't know everything about the game.
Is he gonna like throw shade at you and be all salty like Pikachu is in the show?
Dude,
that'd be awesome.
If Pikachu was voice acted, that would be great. And he's just like,
Yo,
just
motherfucker.
like meowth.
I'm just imagining him being like Freddy from House of Cards. You a motherfucker,
You-
Ash. It's like you know what you are.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
rest in peace, man. That sucked.
yeah.
Reg died.
Anyways,
That got sad really fast.
it did, but I'm still excited about the game. I and I'm talking. I haven't had any hands-on experience with this, so like I don't know. I could probably hate it, which that has happened with a lot of Nintendo franchises that I've been really invested in, but their newer games happen to suck, like Star Fox Zero.
Right.
It sucked because I spent $60 and only played through like the first few levels because
why keep going?
Yeah, I'm sure you guys know the rest, and those who like the game, you can fight me in the comments because I will.
Oh, he almost said something else. You can go fight me in the comments.
You can go country roads.
Oh man, I think we've pretty much taken care of everything we said we'd take care of today. So
Yes.
we're gonna do Daddy Soda quick, and we've actually got a pretty special Daddy Soda today. Now, I went on vacation with my puppy the other day, and my wife. I can't forget my wife. My puppy and my wife came with me, and we went out to a place called York Beach. And in a little town called Kittery, there's a distillery called Wiggly Bridge Distillery. And I think on an earlier episode, Derek was laughing about this with us. Hey, Wiggly Bridge, shitty deck, shoddy construction distillery.
Yes.
But it's
I brought it up last night.
the Wiggly Bridge is a tourist attraction out there, and they have a distillery where they make bourbon. And when Caleb first came home from Australia, I opened up a bottle of this with him, and it was the first bottle of this I had, and it was only 8 months old. Now this is 18 months aged. It's the youngest they have. They do have some older stuff now. If you're ever in the southern coastal Maine area, definitely check out Wiggly Bridge Distillery. They offer samples inside both of the locations, and they've got a ton of good bourbon. They've got a tasting book too that I almost bought. What do you think of it, dude?
It is it is like so drinkable that well, because I think you gave me
I gave you the rest of it. Yeah.
gave me the rest
And
of
like
the bottle.
you and your
It
brother
was-
took care of it.
We destroyed it because I can't tell like it has that perfect, I wouldn't say balance between sweet and peaty because it's not even that peaty. It's more of just a sweet. It's like a sweet bourbon.
It burns you for a split second on the way in, and then everything else is sweet cinnamon,
Warm. Oh.
apple, maybe. Yeah.
A little bit,
a little bit of candied
a little
apple
bit-
on the
little bit
way
of
in.
Candied
Yeah.
apple. But it's phenomenal. I love it. I could drink it all night, but
We might.
yeah, we could go back in and play open world Mario too.
Yeah. It's gonna be fantastic.
But
In reality, we're gonna go play Princess Lettuce in the Salad Kingdom.
Jesus.
Yeah. So we're gonna start doing Let's Plays this coming year.
We won't tell them when.
Not when, but we're gonna be doing it this year, starting it this year. Leave us a message, leave us a comment, send us a message on our Facebook page if you want to watch us play a certain game, or honestly, if you want to watch us do commentary on a movie, even if it's The Last Jedi, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We will happily do that.
Because we've been wanting to. So I fidget with things. Sorry, I fidget with things a lot, and I usually just drop them because like I'll fidget and then.
I saw this thing with Neil deGrasse Tyson the other day.
Mhm.
It was him. I think it might have been Joe Rogan's podcast, and Joe was like, "Hey, you don't have a case on your iPhone?" No. Why not? It goes, because when I hold it in my hand and I do this, then I don't drop it. And he's like flipping it around in his hand, and he didn't drop it at all. It's a dexterity thing. He was talking about it like you watch cadets with their rifles. They spin them, they do tricks with them, they hold them, and that's so if you're ever in a battle and you get knocked around, you never drop your gun. That's what he does with his phone. His phone doesn't have any cracks in it. He's never dropped it.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, right?
Also, Neil deGrasse Tyson is pretty damn cool.
He is.
In general.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
He's like, he knows science stuff.
Also, so does Elon Musk, who got blazed on Joe Rogan recently, which is pretty freaking hilarious.
Yeah, and then everyone gave him shit for
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's,
We might be called the high ground, but we don't smoke pot for our podcasts.
we just drink great beer and
Yeah.
amazing.
You don't smoke pot
whiskeys.
around audio equipment. That's just not something you do.
Yeah, that's bad because that usually
Destroys it pretty fast.
Yeah.
There's oil and grease, and pot smells bad anyway.
yeah. Who wants to be around that?
There's enough skunks in the neighborhood. Damn,
Yeah, we live in upstate New York.
there's skunks everywhere.
Anyways, guys, well, thank you so much for putting up with us and listening to us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for being patient for us coming back. We just took the summer off.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah, so screw you guys.
No. And nothing happened anyway. Like Avengers came out and then no one cared about anything else. Avengers and Deadpool, and that was it. And we touched on both of those.
Kind of. Like, if you really think back, like, nothing really major happened, so I guess that's fine. It's the summer.
I actually can't think of a single movie that came out after July.
Yep.
There it is. Dead air. Fantastic. Professional broadcasters, ladies and gentlemen.
If you like the podcast, give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys. Leave us a comment, some suggestions, some...
If you hated it, let us know.
If you hate it,
Yep.
Sure.
If you don't think we're funny, that's fine too.
If you hate it, we can figure out how we can get better. So that's good for me.
Or we can tell you to screw off.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
Fight
it's
us in the
50-50
comments.
chance,
We're
so.
rude.
But anyway.
You can, if you hate it, you can always come on the show, and you can drink with us, and we can talk about how much you hate the podcast.
Yeah, that actually be great.
Really fun. That'd be good. I'd be down for that.
Anyway, so
let us know what you want us to talk about next, and we're gonna be back with weekly content. It's over.
penile dysphoria.
We are the High Ground Podcast.